Here we go. Right, guys, a huge welcome to Ladder to Lead. Super excited to start this program with you all tonight. Laura and myself we try and do something like this, like most seasons, but probably the last season and a half, things have been a little bit busy, a little bit up in the air, and we've kind of been getting our groove back on. So, but we are now here, we are now in the room, and we are excited to work with you on this. Now, as we go through this, I just want to sort of talk about, first of all, the expectations, then and we're going to sort of talk about what it looks like to be a lead consultant, and then I'm going to hand over to Laura, and Laura's going to talk about sort of goals and vision setting, and she's going to give all the market shizzle. As I said, I actually said this on a call, on a live earlier to our Rising Stars program that's also happening. You guys literally are going to get the best of us because Laura and I both work so differently, but so similarly, that actually when we come together, we literally work like a bit of a jigsaw puzzle, and it kind of works. Like my strengths complement Laura's weaknesses and vice versa. Laura's strengths complement my weaknesses, and I feel like when we come together, quite often, like we've heard people say, oh, like when you actually come together, that's where the magic happens. So keep yourselves on mute if you can. If you know how to do that. There's a few of you that have just popped in that aren't on mute. I know I keep muting people. I'm not doing it for any other reason, but just because I'm a squirrel, Laura's a squirrel, and then we lose our train of thought, and then it becomes a little bit bitty. We're the girly version of Ant and Dec. How funny, someone else called us Ant and Dec in the gym the other week.
In the gym, I was just going to say, a guy at the gym went, I'm just going to call you Ant and Dec because you are literally like Ant and Dec. Hilarious.
Okay, so let's get started with, what the program is going to look like. A very, very quick overview. So we're looking at a 4-week program. It's going to run right the way through September that we are in. And you can give yourself a goal or an expectation as to hit lead by the end of the month if you want to, or it's something that you're driving towards. Now, some of you might be brand new and essential consultants, and that's absolutely fine. You're here, you're going to learn so much from this. Some of you might have been here a little bit longer. Maybe you're a certified consultant and you're looking for that next step. And some of you might just be like, I need some mojo. I'm already a lead consultant, but at the moment, my business is just not working at that level. What can I do to really kick it up? And feel free to tell us in the chat, like where you're at, what you want to get out of this. There is going to be obviously calls each week, every Wednesday night, right the way through. And apart from, I think the last Wednesday that I put the date on, we're probably going to have to do the Thursday because of the 18th, because of a call that we're already on, but I will adjust the little flyer that I put up. But other than that, we will be with you every Wednesday for roughly an hour to sort of talk through what we're doing. And then you've obviously got the group that's running alongside it, and we're going to be giving you PRV ideas every day because we're going to be aiming to get that 500 PRV within our calendar month. So, and I'm going to talk about why that's important in a moment. But just before we start, Laura, did you want to add anything else to that?
No, really, other than just to say, because if I do start again, like Lisa just said, I'm a bit of a squirrel and I'll go off on a tangent. But really, just you're here for a reason. We've both got our groups. Obviously, we've got Glitter Sparkle and Scent Squad. But this month and this season, like Lisa said, we really wanted to like hone down and do some really small focus groups for people that like really want to work. And I don't mean that in an unkind way. Like I don't mean like if you're not working, off you go. But if you don't feel like this is the right time for you, if you start it and you think, you know what, this isn't the right time for me, you might as well leave. Because, and I mean that with love, there's no point. We've both found over our 8 years with Cincy, like you get added to this group and you get added to that group and that chat. And actually it's really counterproductive if you're in something, but you're not actually doing it because you find yourself scrolling and, and getting lost in it. So the purpose of being here is showing up, watching on replay, actioning the tasks. There's reason behind everything. Like Lisa said, we're not just saying, oh, go for 500 PRV. Like there's a reason why you need to go for 500 PRV. So I know we're going to get into mindset in a sec, but just to say, like, we really want you to get so much yes out of this 4 weeks, but to build strong habits for the future. Because this first it's not your first promotion with a teammate literally is the foundation to where your business will grow. So we're just really so excited. And there's method in our madness, basically. There's reason behind all this.
100%. Everything that we do with you is intentional. And I think that's really the key thing. And yeah, showing up makes all the difference. You're so right, because honestly, you will get so much more from watching this live right now.
Yeah.
Like 100%. And I've watched loads of trainings, and you don't always get the same buzz when it's like you're not typing away and like, oh my God, they just said something that resonated with me, and you get to actually interact. So feel free to put your comments, your emotions, your feelings, positive, negative, however it may go. Hopefully they're going to be positive. But use the chat. It's there for you. And as I say, hopefully we'll have a little space at the end where you can ask questions, as long as Laura and I don't talk for too long.
I was just going to say, I promise I'll try and keep this into like 10, 15 minutes. Then we'll go on to our next section, and then there'll be, there'll be time at the end to ask questions. So let's kick off with mindset and goal setting. Now, mindset is something that you will hear. No,
we're not handing over to you yet.
Oh, sorry.
I'm coming to you. We need to look at what lead consultant looks like first.
We
don't know where we're going
already. Don't let me talk. Just tell me when to talk.
We've planned 2 separate bits tonight, so hopefully we won't interrupt each other, because we're terrible for it.
I'm going to stop.
There we go. There was a good start. So, right, guys, first reason that we're here tonight is obviously we need to know what it looks like. What are we aiming for? What does lead consultant look like? What's the point in, doing these little PRV tasks that you're giving us every day? What's the point in, getting a teamie? How does it work? What does lead consultant look like? And Laura's laughing now. She's like, I can't believe I did that. So I'm just going to show you something. I've just downloaded 2 documents, which are, I just need to bring one of them up because I've actually downloaded it and then haven't actually pressed the download button. Hold on. Is that going to come up? Oh, don't do this to me now. Wait, do this to me now. I thought I was techie. Hold on. We'll use this one for now. We'll just use this one because it's just as good.
That's what I was looking for, yeah.
Yeah, I've got another one as well that I've just downloaded. This. Let me download this first of all. Bloody hell, don't do that. There's people watching, Mike. Sorry, guys. My office is in the garden, and my husband likes to come down and scare the life out of me. He thinks it's funny. Okay, so for those of you that haven't quite reached certified, it's coming. And once you hit that first 1,000 GWV, realistically, we need to know right at the beginning, what does it look like to be a certified consultant, a lead consultant? So if you search on your workstation, lead consultant, under training, this document comes up and you can download it. And I recommend downloading this, reading it, getting to grips with what it is, what it means, what does all the different parts mean, and then you can work out where you go from here. Because if you don't actually know what you're aiming for, it makes it really, really different to set your goals, what Laura's going to talk about, have the right mindset around it, because otherwise you're just aimlessly pottering along. And I'm going to be completely honest. I aimlessly pottered along. I literally came in to the business. I started sharing the love of the product as soon as I got my products, because I'd never smelt a product. And I just started asking people to join my team, and they said yes. And then I got them to do exactly the same, share what they love, share their favorite products, and they started to make sales. And lead consultant happened very naturally for me without really knowing any of this, okay? I didn't know that you needed 500 PRV. I didn't know that you needed 1,000 GWV, what those words mean. I had no idea whatsoever. But if I do talk about this really briefly, I aimed for 2,000 PRV from the very offset, from as soon as I came into the business. And by the 3rd month, I hit lead consultant. And I will share the income disclosure statement with this. But by my 3rd month, my paycheck was £888. Okay. And I'm putting that out there just so you've got an idea of like, oh, hold on a minute. There's going to be a difference between earnings, but there's also going to be a difference of what can happen if you put your mind to it. And I think it's important to know that you can do this without without knowing where you're going. But I think now I very much would want to know where I'm going. Like if there was another promotion that I could go for right now, I want to know where the figures are. I want to know what I need to do, because it helps me to tick things off. So there's a lot more information to you now than when Laura and I was very first starting. And Laura will nod and tell you, hell yes, we didn't know any of this. We literally just plodded along.
I'm really going to try not to interrupt Laura tonight, because I do get all over excited on top. But I literally was just going to touch on that and say, like, when you sponsor somebody, obviously, which we're going to talk about in this program, don't think you need to know everything to teach your team. Like, obviously, you've got so many resources. We were like the blind leading the blind. I mean that in the nicest possible way. If you've ever heard the saying, passion on fire is better than ignorance. Ignorance on fire is better than passion. Knowledge on ice. Sorry, ignorance on fire is better than passion. Knowledge on ice. You don't need to know everything. You can be passionate and just go for it. But obviously, we've done that bit, and now we're here to help you do it the other way as well. But yeah, so basically, you don't need to know everything in the beginning.
You don't. But I think it's really important to know what the parameters are, what you're looking for, because this is going to help you set your goals. So to hit lead consultant, you need 500 PRV. Now that's exactly the same whether you're a lead consultant, star consultant, superstar consultant, whether you're a superstar director like Laura and I, we still have to get 500 PRV minimum. That is my non-negotiable. And if you want to be a lead consultant, or you are a lead consultant that's not getting paid at title, that should be your non-negotiable every month. And ideally having a plan of how do I get there and how do I make sure that I'm going to get the minimum of 500 PRV by the end of each month. So I ask you, put in the chat, do you have a plan of how you get your 500 PRV? Are you getting 500 PRV, or is that something that you need to build towards? If it's something you need to build towards, straight away, this is going to be the first thing that you need to work on before you even look at anything else on this compensation plan. But your 500 is going to be your most important tool, because when you get your 500, you can share with your team how to get 500. Okay. If you're not doing it, rule number one of being any form of leader is you've got to be the one doing the hard work first. And that's something that Laura and I absolutely stand by in our businesses. There is not a day that goes by that someone could say to me, what have you done for your business today? And it might just be that I've only sent 5 messages to customers, but I've sent 5 messages to customers. You've all seen that consistency like picture where it shows all the little pops, like some are full, some are not so full, some are full, some are not so full. It's not about being consistent, doing 100% all the time, but it's doing the little things that compound into the big things. It's the compound effect. And that 500 PRV that should be your non-negotiable. So for those of you that are new, 500 PRV is £605 in sales per month. So that should be your starting point, okay? That should be where you're like, right, I'm going hell for leather. I am going to do that. If you're struggling to do that, new customers is going to be really, really vital to you right now in the moment, okay? Because without that, you need 1,000 GWV. Now, this is where people get a little bit confused. I'm going to try and talk through this quickly. GWV is 75% of your PRV and your team is PRV. So when I joined Laura, and she was aiming for lead consultant, I think she was already a lead consultant when I joined, but say it was just me and her, let's just say I was her first teammate. She needed 500 PRV, but then we also, together, collectively, Laura and I needed 75% of our PRV to add up to that 1,000. So if I put in 500 and so did she, we wouldn't have enough as a lead consultant. We've got to actually be doing more than 500 PRV if there's only 2 of you in your team. It's actually 1,333 PRV that is the big number, okay? So if you've got a team of 5, that's cool. You can do 500 PRV. The rest of your team just need to do the remainder of the PRV split between you for you to hit lead. So these are things that you want to start to be thinking about. They're magic numbers. 500, which is £605 in orders. And we'll talk about how to get those orders. And then the GWV in PRV is 1,333 PRV. Laura can work that out. I don't know what it is in pounds. What is that? Yeah, and 1.2 is probably what, 1,600-ish pounds, maybe. It might be a bit more than that.
There are images, guys, in both Glitter Sparkle and Scent Squad where we created flyers to like literally save them in your phone. You can work this out like instantly, which I'm going to do. But yeah, don't worry about having to work that out in your head all the time. It's all been done to help you.
Yeah. Now, while Laura's just working that out, just so you know, you're probably thinking, okay, well, this is all well and good, Lisa, but what difference does that make for me? And this is where it's bang on 1,600. Oh, this is all tonight makes change. Those of you that know me know that maths is not my strong point.
Yeah, so they're all here. They're all broken down. Sorry, what was broken out?
No, Em said it's bang on 1,600. So,
right, okay.
In terms of what does this mean for you, is if you hit lead consultant, You also get paid a bonus on your team. Now, that's not any of your team's money going to go in your pocket. You're not taking any wages away from them. So don't feel like that. That is a pyramid scheme. But what they're actually doing is they are earning you can earn a bonus if you help them to earn 500 PRV or to get active or to get certified. They need to obviously be active, which is £245 in orders, but you would get a little bonus paid on your team as well, which is nice. It's nice to have a bonus, okay? So that's what lead consultant looks like. Now, the most important thing to recognize is if you do hit lead consultant once, ideally you want to be paid at that title every single month. So this isn't just something that you want to do as a one-off. You want to be building a team that are going to do the work every single month. Now, some of you are going to say to me, well, I've recruited people. They haven't done nothing. They're not doing the work. My answer is really simple. You've got to recruit more people. Okay, if you're doing your bit and you're doing your £605 in orders and, you know, you're showing up to team meetings and you're doing all of those things, amazing. And you've got good customer base, good customer relationships. Your job now is to go out and find new people to join your team. And you're going to need, in my opinion, 3, 4, maybe 5 of them. And then you're more likely to hit lead consultant, because if Sally down the road doesn't get active one month, Betty down the other road might get active. And therefore, it's not going to impact you getting paid at title. You can't become reliant on like 1 or 2 team members. So that's what lead consultant looks like. I really hope I've made that as simple as I possibly could. That graphic is on your workstation, okay? And obviously you want to hit lead consultant because you get points for the trip. You're going to get bonus points for going to Greece. How amazing would that? And imagine if you help a teamie get to lead, you get 2,500 points. Oh my God, that's huge. Huge points, okay?
You also become searchable on Scentsy.com.
Exactly that. Really, really important. Lots of you ask me that. I get asked that question all the time. Why can't you find me on the website? Because you're not being paid as a lead consultant. It's a perk of being a lead consultant and paid at title. It's not just about having the title, which I know some people are like, right, I'll get the title, I'll get there as quick as I can. But actually the perk of the website is a perk for those that are paid at that title every single month, or not every month. It's just got to be the previous month. So,
yeah. And do not, and I'm going to put this out there, whether this is lead, star, superstar consultant, director, do not ever buy stock to hit a title. If you one tip now, like, and do you know what? I will hands up say this is not us talking from experience. Neither of us have ever done this, but we have seen people do it. It is absolutely pointless. All it's going to do is cost you money. You're going to get that bit of glory for like 10 minutes. But if you're not being paid at that title, there's absolutely no point. You need to do it organically. It doesn't matter if it takes you 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. There's no point in hitting a title if you're not then paid at that title, because you haven't had the organic growth. Like Lisa just said, the 2 things that I just took from what Lisa said, that I'm going to just highlight again, that I think feel are the 2 most important things. 1, leaders go first. You cannot expect your team to do things that you're not doing. So you need to be going for that 500 PRV or more. You need to be sponsoring. And the second thing that I think it's really, really important that you understand is not every single person that you sponsor is going to work. If you sponsor a teammate and you feel disheartened they're not working, if you saw every single teammate that Lisa and I had sponsored in nearly 8 years that haven't done anything, and if we had £1 for every single one, we'd never have to work again. Honestly, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, it happens. It is nothing to do with you. It is not personal. It is their business. The timing is going to be right for them. It's no reflection on you, but that is why you have to keep sharing the gift, keep sponsoring. And I know we're going to go into mindset in a minute, but it's about flipping your mindset and understanding that it's about helping them. Like Lisa just said, you get a bonus for helping other people. It's not about join my team, join my team, join my team. It's all about me. I promise you, when you flip your mindset, that think about all the wonderful things that you're experiencing because you're part of Scentsy, all the wonderful products, the trainings, amazing corporate, all the wonderful things. This is a gift you can offer people. So when you flip your mindset from I can't sponsor, nobody wants to join my team, to oh my goodness, look at this amazing gift that I've got to offer people, and they then get to experience all the wonderful things that I am, then your mindset will change on it. And then you will literally want to walk out in the street and tell everyone they need to join Zinti. The fear of offering the opportunity to people, I promise you, the more you do it, it will just disintegrate. It will go. Like I literally, I honestly, there's not one part of me now that I'm like, you need to join Zinti. Like you just need to join. I never ever worry about offering people the opportunity anymore because I know what it can do for people. You cannot have success in this, well, depending on what success looks like for you, if you want to go through the compensation plan to have success in this business, you can't do that without helping other people to have success. But it is the most beautiful thing when it all starts to come together. But yeah, it's about, you know, doing it en masse and finding those numbers.
Doing it en masse, yeah. Let me just share with you one other image, guys, and then just actually reiterate a little bit as Laura took some words out of my mouth. The part, obviously, we've talked about the selling, we've talked about the sponsoring, and we will go into more detail in these over the weeks. But that training part is so important. The only time, really, like Laura said, you've got to be the one that goes first and shows your team the way, how to do it. I hear that saying loads, and I love that saying because my biggest thing has always been about sharing. Like, I think for a long time it was like my middle name. I share loads with my team now, but less outside of my team now. But that just is because team has grown and you know, the demands on you become more demanding elsewhere. But when you share that opportunity with someone, like Laura talked about there, and give them that opportunity, and you're sharing with them ideas to get active, it's not you being pushy. It's just giving, as you say, giving somebody that opportunity to have that amazing thing that we all do. Now, this image is just incredible. This is where the name for the program came from. Rather than doing like a leap to lead, I love like the ladder to lead. And this is probably a really good image, which we've both put in our ladder to lead groups, where you can print these off, keep it with you, and remind yourself that this is all that needs to be done. There doesn't need to be any more fluff, guys. It literally is this simple. Find a selling system that works for you to get your leadership PRV, make that your non-negotiable, and then build on it each month. Work on sponsoring and get comfortable with, oh, your free meeting will end in 10 minutes. I swear I've got to record it. I've not got a free Zoom, but we might be coming back in for a part 2. Get comfortable with sponsoring and, you know, having those active teamies and those conversations, giving the gift, and then also training your team members as well is so important. You know, I hear time and time again people say, well, my sponsor did nothing with me. You know, be the sponsor that you want. Be the sponsor that you want, you know, someone to give you, whether that's, you know, going for a coffee or giving somebody time, offering them the chance to meet up, offering them the chance to chat, you know, go through ideas. You be that person for them as well, which I think is so important, because that's what this is all about. That's what leadership is all about. Leadership isn't about, you know, being somebody that's like, right, I'm a leader now, I'm your boss. Not at all. Leadership shouldn't even be called leadership, in my opinion. It should be called shareship, because you become a sharer. You become a sharer with sharing how you do things, not gatekeeping. You know, I've just sold 20 mystery bags. This is how I did it. You could do this too. You know, I've just sponsored a team member. This is what I did to do it. You could do this too. Why don't you try this? You know, this worked for me. Actually, this didn't work for me, but this might work for you. Because when you go first and you're the person going first, you've got so much more to offer to your team. So much more to offer. It's given me, by the way, 8 minutes left on this. I'm assuming something's happened with my Zoom account. So if we come out, we can come back, just come straight back in on the same link, guys.
I will just say mine said that the other day, though, but it kept going. So we'll just wait and see what happens.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, as Emma's just put in the chat as well, again, just to add on from what Lisa's just said, sharing can mean so many things. A training that you've watched that gave you fire in your belly, a conversation that you had with a customer or a teammate, Turn a Tuesday that works, anything that you do, don't overthink and think, oh, I need to do this to be a leader. Like, just share what you're doing. Far too many people like really overcomplicate this business. I've said it again, if I had £1 for every time I said this, I wouldn't need to work. But like, this business isn't easy, but it's simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Do the things that are on that image, do them consistently. You don't have to do like 1,000,000% every day. Do something consistently every day. And that, I promise you, that is where your business will grow. Right, okay. Shall we lead into mindset? Right, okay, because we might cut off. we'll come back on. Okay, I am going to talk about mindset and goal setting when it comes to going for lead consultant. Now, any of you that have been around for a while will know that it's become a bit of a thing in sense it's like, oh, Laura Hawkins likes to talk about mindset. I do like to talk about mindset and goal setting. However, I want to put some structure and some oomph behind it as to explain why, because genuinely, for me personally, the reason I'm so passionate about it and the reason that I believe it is so important is because the person that I am, and Amy Wilson, I think you're on, we were talking about this in her garden the other night. The person that I am from when I started Scentsy to the person that's sitting here talking today, I've got the same heart, I'm the same person inside, but my mindset and the personal growth that I've done has completely changed. The way that I live my life has completely changed. The habits that I've got have completely changed. And I honestly believe that is testament to where my business has grown and where my business continues to grow, because of mindset and goal setting that I do, again, the things that are non-negotiable in my business every month. And if you start to build those habits now, that's what's going to take you forward. Now, first of all, you need to believe that you can do this. Now, I don't just mean like go, oh yeah, like I might go try for lead consultant, or I might try and get 500 PRV this month. That's not going to cut it. You need to absolutely, like deep down in your core, believe that you are going to get 500 PRV and that you are going to hit lead consultant. Like, I'm not saying you're going to hit it next week, but you need to believe with an unshakable belief that it's going to happen. Now, that can be achieved in so many ways. For me, I'm a hugely visual person, okay? I make vision boards. I write things on my whiteboard every month. That has just been rubbed off for this month. So that's the only reason. There's just some quotes at the top. But I've rubbed off last month, so I need to do this month. But you can start by literally writing 500 PRV on a Post-it note, on a card, sticking it on your fridge, putting it on your phone, putting it as your screensaver on your phone or something. Visuals are so important, because when you're then looking at something every single day, it becomes a non-negotiable in your business. And you need to not think, oh, well, I'm just going to try and get 500 PRV. Basically, just don't stop till it's done. Just don't think, oh, well, you know, I haven't done it. It just has to become a non-negotiable in your business. I have made some notes, but I feel like I'm going off on a tangent already. But it's that mindset of knowing that absolutely I am going to get PRV, going to get that 500 PRV, or I am going to get that team meet. It's the habits that you start to instill into your life that are going to change that. So vision boards, whether, like I said, it's writing something on a board, writing something on your phone, it's putting it somewhere that you can see it every single day. Because when there's quite a famous saying that's like, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. It's understanding that you are capable and really, really believe in it. Like, be honest, write in the chat, like obviously you're all on here, so you want it, but be honest with yourself. Do you honestly, truly believe that you can sponsor a team member this month and that you can hit 500 PRV? Be honest in the chat. Like, don't just say yes if you don't believe it, because if you don't believe it, yeah, we need to work on that. We need to do some personal growth, and we're here to help you, right?
Yes, Kay. Yes, Neil. Yes,
yes.
Tina. It's coming. It's coming.
Okay, but it starts with like the habits that you build. So I'm not saying you all have to do what I do every day, but I am a huge believer in setting your mind first thing in the morning, in like setting your mind into the right frame of mind for your day. So every single day I get up and I write myself a list. Now, you might be putting a list in your mind, but for me, it helps to write down some non-negotiables for my business every single morning, because then because otherwise then I don't procrastinate. I don't just like, and then I get to the end of the day, and even if I haven't done everything on my list, I've done some things.
Come back to my list making, you'll be very proud of me.
I love it. I'm very proud of you. Look, I've got the same planner. So obviously, you can see it. Oh, cat's in the thing. But I used to buy, obviously I buy the Scentsy planner now. Do you know what's super helpful? Mrs. Hinch made a book that's literally got little tiny lists in there. I used to buy the Mrs. Hinch list book. I bought Lisa one once. And then every day, I bought it too, I think. I used to just write down some things for my business, because it makes you disciplined, and it makes you, there she is, and it makes you do things that are going to move your business forward. Now, right, I'm just going to take a couple of things from the chat, and please don't think this is me like picking on you. This is me helping you and learning, taking little tools from my toolbox that I've learned in my personal development over the years. If you say things like, hopefully 500 PRV, the likelihood of you hitting 500 PRV is less. If you say, I am, like speaking it into existence. If you say, I want to, that's really, what's that telling your mind is, actually, that might not happen. You have to believe with an unshakable belief to your core it is going to happen. And this is where, like, you know, I can recommend to you like a million podcasts, books, audiobooks, whatever, you know, that you might want to start listening to. But this is where I will tell you, if you start doing some personal development, I've said this line a million times, grow the person, grow the business. To me, it is just part of being a Scentsy consultant. If you want to be an entrepreneur, where's the line on here? Right. I found this the other day, and I can't remember who bought me this. Somebody's bought me this when I promoted once, but it says, an entrepreneur is never limited by other people's limited imaginations. Being an entrepreneur is not about ideas, it's about making things happen. If an opportunity doesn't knock, then you build a door. A true entrepreneur is a doer, not a dreamer. The best way for an entrepreneur to predict the future is to create it. Anyone can take the risk, but it takes an entrepreneur to see the reward. Fear is not an option. Being an entrepreneur is not just starting a business, it's an attitude to your life. And it was that last sentence that I loved. This has to become like an attitude to your life. It's not just like, oh yeah, well, I'll see what happens. You need to actually believe the day you bought that business in a box, whether you realized it or not, you became an entrepreneur. You became a business owner. And business owners take action. They don't overthink things. They don't think, oh, you know, worry about this, that, and the other. They take the action and work it out as they go. So, like Emma said, work on that safe PRV. There is so much training out there. There is so much content out there. If I start to get a little bit like this, right, when I start talking about this, it's because it literally lights a fire inside of me that when I start to see you guys achieving these things, this is what we were talking about being a leader. When you start to see other people start to achieve these things, it is literally the best feeling in the world. When you start to see people's confidence start to grow. So the first thing you need to do is believe that you can do it. And I'm talking about like really, 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 really deep down to your core, start speaking it into existence, start writing it on